What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bios3 Raw TV. Of course, I told you guys, and probably by the time you see this, I haven't even put up the John Jones video yet about him failing the drug test. And already, I have so many videos backed up because I make them ahead of time and I kind of store them in my files and I put them up so that I'm kind of ahead a little bit. I try not to be behind because I try to make so many videos per week. And so the John Jones one didn't go up yet, and lo and behold, Anderson Silva and Nick Diaz this past weekend, which was like, people were talking, this is like the mega fight that everybody wanted to see, and, apparently it was a good fight, I guess. I mean, Diaz didn't get knocked the fuck out, and Anderson Silva is usually known for crushing people, so I don't see how that was a good fight. And, at the end, Anderson Silva laid in the ring and fucking cried, and I'm just like, okay, I guess, Nick Diaz was making fun of him. Was it a flashy fight and stuff? I mean, I guess so. The best fight, or one of the best fights, I don't see that, but that's just my personal opinion. So after the post-fight, apparently they both failed before the fight. Hey, bro. What's going on, buddy? I know. Did you see the fight? You were already asleep. You didn't see the fight. And they had failed the drug test before the fight, but it didn't come out till after the sample was taken before, out of the off-season, whatever the fuck it was. Anyways, the bottom line is Anderson Silva failed for steroids, and Nick Diaz failed for marijuana again. Now, let's look at the Diaz thing first. Third time he fails for marijuana. And what's fucked up is they said that he had over the allowed limit of marijuana metabolites in his blood. And I'm like, why the fuck would you allow any metabolites in your blood unless you had a prescription? So if he has a prescription for this, that's fine. Like, he has so many metabolites. But if you don't have a prescription, you're doing something illegal. Why would you, like, if there's fucking one metabolite in his fucking body, he broke the fucking rules and broke the law. Like, they'll let you have a certain amount of metabolites. It's not like marijuana metabolites are naturally occurring in the body, and it could, like testosterone, like it could be higher and low. That doesn't make any fucking sense. So the bottom line is, I think that unless it's prescribed by a doctor, you test fucking for anything. I don't give a fuck what it is. Heroin, cocaine, whatever it is, doesn't matter how many fucking metabolites in the blood. You got any of that in your blood, you automatically fail the fucking drug test. You're doing something illegal. You're taking an illegal drug. Whether it has a performance impact or not, if you're trying to keep the integrity of the sport and you're trying to make sure that these fucking guys don't put out a bad name, that don't allow any drugs to be taken, not just fucking certain limits and certain amounts unless prescribed by a doctor. Now, the Anderson Silva thing, here's what, again, there's no proof to this. This is my speculation, my theory. And I'm willing to bet you my theory is more dead on than some of the other shit that you're going to see. He tested positive for drostanolone. Anyways, the fucking brand name is Masteron. I'm so bad with remembering these fucking big chemical names. But it did not state whether it was drostanolone, whatever, propionate. Okay, now here's the kicker. Masteron is now an underground drug. Much like Primobolan, it's actually a pretty sought-after drug. And it's actually not as expensive as Primobolan to make. However, there is an enanthate form of the same drug. There's a Masteron enanthate that is on the black market underground that is essentially the same thing but longer acting. And it's actually cheaper to buy and produce. So what happens is you have a counterfeit black market situation where someone wants Masteron, like Anderson Silva. They go to a black market source to get it because the doctor's not going to give you fucking Masteron. They buy it off this fucking black market source, and actually the black market guy, he may not even know the guy that's selling it because whoever fucking made it is the only one who knows. Or maybe even the fucking raw materials from China that this shit was made out of may have actually been switched because it's the same drug. They do it all the time. There's just a longer half-life on it. Now, they think they're taking one thing, and in reality they're taking another thing. The clearance time is different. Next thing you know, you get popped for that metabolite, but it doesn't show the ester. It doesn't show whether it's propionate or an enanthate ester. So there's a good possibility this is not their fault that they mistimed something. I mean, he cheated. He took the fucking drug. I mean, I told you guys before many times, and in the John Jones video, which hopefully you've seen by now, I hopefully have put it up by now. If not, I'm going to have to put that one up because that's got some controversy to it too. But these guys are taking fucking drugs. Anderson Silva was one of the best who ever lived. He finally got popped with something, and it's a good possibility he got the wrong thing. We've seen this over and over again with Olympic athletes where there was one that I knew who had actually gotten popped, and this is pretty messed up. He was trying to be on suspension, testosterone suspension, and he wound up getting Winstrol, which is the more expensive of the two. I don't know what the fuck happened or what got lost in translation or whatever. While he was getting this stuff, got to the Olympics itself and tested positive for Winstrol, and he was like, but when he came back, he said, I didn't fucking take Winstrol. Well, you bought the testosterone from a black market source that had relabeled fucking testosterone. It was Winstrol. So next thing you know, you're popped for that. There's a lot of athletes, I think, they get popped for things that think they're taking one thing and are actually getting another. Like, what do you call it? Alex Rodriguez has been popped for Primobolan several times. Now, there's a Primobolan acetate, which is the faster acting one. Is it possible he was looking for the acetate and actually wound up getting the enanthate, and it lasts longer in the system, and that's how they get popped? Absolutely. And the problem is you can't go buy many of these things at a pharmacy where they're at. Doctors won't prescribe them, so they're left to the black market. And when you're left to the black market, there's shady, cheesy motherfuckers out there that are willing to try to do whatever they can to make a buck. And sometimes it's not even their fault. Sometimes it's the lab's fault. It's the people who make it. It's the fucking company that sells the raw materials. I mean, it goes right down the line. But the bottom line is they didn't say what Anderson Silva ester was that he took. And I think that he basically just got something that was different than what he normally took and didn't know it. They cut off the regular time like they normally would for propionate, tested positive because it was an enanthate. End of story. Has he been taking it all along? Of course. This wasn't even his fucking best fight. And he got popped for this one. Now, could it be that Masteron was something he added to his stack cycle training camp or whatever after his injury because he tried to heal faster? I mean, usually Masteron, no. Masteron has it's an anabolic, but it's low anabolic, and it does have anti-estrogenic properties. So essentially, it could help you recover faster, get stronger, but remain in that weight class and not gain any weight or bloat, which would be a good thing for it. And I mean, it doesn't cause a big, huge pump, which means you wouldn't fatigue as much on it as if you were taking testosterone Deca or something. So it's kind of an ideal thing to go along with. I mean, we've seen Winstrol a lot, like in Olympic sports and strength sports. Anavar, these are things that help you stay inside your weight class, but give you that competitive edge. That being said, I think we're going to see now, if he's smart, Anderson Silva will retire. This will be it. He came back to do that fight after his injury. He's got nothing left to prove. Just like Manny Ramirez when he got popped fucking for the second or third time with fucking steroids in baseball, that motherfucker retired. I mean, he wasn't even at his peak yet, but it was time for him to go. He can't keep doing that. Alex Rodriguez, again, A-Rod's been popped how many times? Now he's suspended for the whole next season or whatever. Now, I mean, he's going to fucking retire too. There's just no way around it. When you get fucked too many times like that, it's better just to walk away and just admit it, say, yeah, I did it, and then fucking walk away and leave it at that. But they're starting to talk about Anderson Silva's reputation and wins being tarnished, because could he possibly have been? He didn't test positive before. So at that point, you can't just speculate. I mean, motherfucker, I'm going to say, yeah, he was, but you can't just speculate on every other fight that he's had when he hasn't tested positive. So those go down in the record books and will stay there. And this will be the only kind of blemish on his record, which it's pretty fucking good no matter what. I mean, at very least, they time the cycles right. bios3training@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.bios3training.com is a blog. It's the Anderson Silva goodbye to retirement bicep, and we're out.